Welcome to the Tipsy Guest Podcast. I am your host, Marco Buenrostro, and every week I'm here with the top industry experts, amazing clients, and all my vendor BFFs to bring you the best tips, advice, and juicy behind-the-scenes stories to make wedding and event planning a breeze. So grab your favorite drink and let's get this party started! Hey guys, welcome back to the Tipsy Guest. I am Marco, your host, and today is a very different episode. So we're used to talk about, brides and planning the party, the wedding, and all the cool stuff for the big day. But today we're going to be talking about what happens before the wedding. So today I have Amy Gonzalez. She is the founder, owner of the Love Shack Boutique, and she's also a certified sex educator.
Yes. Hi.
Hey, how are you, Amy?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh my God, I am very excited to have you.
Thank you for having me.
This is going to be a fun episode, I can already tell. I mean, I have been to your store. I have been to your boutique many times. And I mean, whenever we do the events there as well, it's always so much fun.
Yeah.
So I guess let's get started by you telling our listeners who you are, what you do, how long you've been in business, all that cool stuff. And then we'll talk about all things bachelorette parties.
Perfect. So thanks for having me again. I own a store called Love Shack Boutique located here in San Antonio. I've been open since 2012. And we do a little bit of everything. We do bachelorette parties, bridal showers, and we also sell lingerie, lotions, oils, creams, other fun, accessories, bedroom items.
Ooh. I love it.
Fun stuff, right? Fun stuff for the honeymoon, right? So we carry a variety of stuff. I've been open since 2012. We have 2 locations, one in the medical center area and one in Dove Creek. And then I also have an event room that I opened up in 2018. And that has been fabulous. And we host parties, classes, events. We do fun bingos, a variety of stuff. And I got started back I've been in this industry now for 20 plus years. I know.
What?
Yes. I know. I always tell people I got started when I was in my 20s doing home parties. I was going to school at UTSA and I was working full time, and I got started doing these passion parties or pure romance. Usually that's how people, oh yes, I've been to one of those parties where they showed stuff and people bought stuff and we had drinks and laughs and all sorts of stuff. So I got started doing that back in 2001, and I just started doing it just a part-time job, just something just to help me pay my student loans. So I wouldn't have to get student loans, actually, for me to help pay my college. And I did that. I was going to school full-time and I was working full-time. I graduated from UTSA. Didn't have any student loans. That helped me pay my Yeah. I tell people toys help pay for my loans or help put me through college. And then I just concentrated on my full-time career. That was my goal. I was I'm just going to concentrate full-time on my career. But I couldn't get away from these parties. I always had people say, no, I want you to book a party or do my party for me. And then as I was doing the parties, I'd always have people say, you don't have a storefront? And I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, well, what if I want to reorder stuff? And I'd be like, well, you could order online. And they're like, well, and then I was meeting people all over town. And I always heard the same thing from people. And the thing that I would hear is, there's nowhere nice here in town to buy anything. So I was I went to every store here in town, and I was like, these are crap. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
They just feel awkward when you go in.
Yeah, and I don't want to say there's anything against men, but they are mostly men-owned, operated. So when you go in there, they're just they're designed by a man. Not saying that men don't have that touch, but you went in.
They're very generic.
Yeah, and it just there was one person working the counter and behind the counter, and it wasn't colorful or nice or pleasant. And so I went to Austin, Dallas, LA, Vegas to see other stores that were run by women, that were created by women. And I talked to other women business owners. And then after probably about a couple years, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to put everything into it. I'm going to literally quit my day job. And if it's successful, then I can say, hey, you know what? I put everything into it. And if it is not, well, hey, I tried, right? So that was back in, I opened up the first store in 2012. and I did my bright colors, and I made sure the store smelled nice, and we're all women that work there, and that just gives it a nice touch. And it's just kind of evolved into sexual health, wellness, and pleasure, because I feel like we're a community resource, or we are a community resource. We deal with gynecologists, urologists, and pelvic floor doctors that send in patients to pick up lubricant, dilators, and other necessities. So It's just like evolved,
And look at you now with 2 locations. That is incredible. So just a little backstory here. So, and this is probably something, obviously, you're not even going to remember. But before I even met you, because I think I met you around 2016. Well, I opened my business in 2015, and I think I met you like around 2016, 2017. But I actually went to one of those parties that you used to do.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe in 2011. So before we even knew each other, and I know because I didn't remember you.
I do remember who had the party.
It's crazy. I didn't think you were gonna remember.
Yes.
And I think this was maybe around 2011 or 2012.
Yeah, I think I had already opened up the store, and that person had told me, "Will you please do a party for me, please, please, please?" And I think at the time he was doing my hair, so I was like, "Okay, I'll go ahead and do the party." And yeah, I did.
That is so wild to me, because later, like 3-4 years after that, when I officially, met you at, I think I met you at an event for the San Antonio AIDS Foundation. I think that's where I met you the first time. Because I think Sam is the one that introduced us, which he was working with the San Antonio AIDS Foundation at the time. I was like, oh my God, I've been to one of her parties.
That's right. I completely okay, so I did forget about you being there, but yes, I do remember the party.
Oh, that's cool that you remember. That is, to me, I just thought that was hilarious. It was like a full circle moment. But yeah, once we met, and then of course you started hiring me to do your anniversary parties.
Yes,
they're always so fun. And like right now, when you mention, I feel like when people walk into your store, it's not like you're not expecting like a creepy person behind the counter. Like it's so welcoming. Like your girls are the best. I mean, Alyssa. So Alyssa is the store manager.
Yes.
Oh my God, she is hilarious. I follow her on social, and I follow your social media accounts from the store, and oh my God, sometimes I'm just like going through the reels that you guys post, and they are so funny. I just feel like you have created such a fun and safe environment for your clients, and I feel like you've built that community. I mean, throughout the years when I work at your the anniversary parties with the photo booth, I see the same people over and over again, and I just feel like you have built a community and a safe space for people to go and just not be embarrassed, to shop for toys or all of the things that you sell. I think that is really, really cool. So I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm proud of you too.
Thank
There's
you.
Mutual
Thank
love.
you. Thank
mutual.
you.
Yes.
So let's talk bachelorette parties.
Okay.
Because you did mention that you have a space, and I've been to your space, which I see that you've hosted like the drag brunch or the drag bingo or loteria, and then you have yoga, and then you have all kinds of events there. How popular is it for, I guess, can couples or I guess brides or grooms, can they rent out the space to throw a party, like a bachelor party?
Absolutely. So we have the space is very nice and fun, and we kind of customize it. So if you're like, hey, we want to do something before our bachelorette party, or before we go out, or before we, go have dinner. Because now, I mean, as you know, brides nowadays, some of them are like, no, we're not doing a bachelorette party. We're just going to go have dinner and drink somewhere. But people just want something different. So in our event space, we have where they can come in and host a party, and we can do they want a class on a topic, or if they want to do like a naughty bingo or a loteria, we can do that. We can kind of customize it. And then they can even come out and do like a bridal wish list, and they can pick out stuff that they want. So as opposed to them getting stuff that they're never going to wear or use or whatever, then they can kind of pick out, well, no, I want these outfits, or I want these, candles or lotions or whatever.
So kind of like a wedding registration, but it's like the bridal, the shower or the bachelorette party registration.
So, and to sometimes people are like, no, I'm only inviting certain people to my, my bachelorette party as opposed to my bridal shower or whatnot. But we can kind of customize it however they want. But it makes it kind of fun because then they come in, they don't have to worry about, okay, whose house are we going to host it at? If they're like, well, we're thinking about doing something, but we don't know. They can host it in the store, in our private event room. They can bring food, drinks, and then we can customize it if they want to do a class or a party or just hang out. Sometimes we've had people like, oh, our limo's going to pick us up from here and we're going to go, downtown, or we're going to go do whatever. So we can customize it however they like.
Awesome. And so do you rent the space? Is it by, do you have different tiers, different packages,
Yes.
or is it by the hour? How do they rent out the space?
So we have different packages. So we have like a blushing bride one. We have just a party one. We have a game theme night. So we can kind of customize it. Like they may be like, well, we're having a bachelorette party, but we want to do like a bingo, but she also wants to do a bridal registry, and we're going to bring some food and drinks, or they can cater it. So yeah, we will customize. We have packages, but we can always like, oh, well, let's throw this or that in or whatnot. So we just want them to have a great experience, have fun, have it be something memorable that they're going to remember, and then go on and do whatever. But I've had people come in and they're like, I hosted my party here, 5 years ago, or 7 years ago here in the event space. So that's like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I love it.
It's so cool when you have those returning clients, and then
Yeah.
you have throughout the years you have stories to tell, and you have things in common, and
Yeah.
and sometimes those clients become friends, and it's such a cool when you've been in business for such a long time,
Yeah.
it's really, really cool when you build those relationships
Yeah, I
with
love
your
it.
clientele.
Yeah.
And so then you recently opened that second location, you said,
Yes.
and that's on the other side of town, which will be in Potranco area.
Yes.
How long has that one been in business again?
We opened up that one 2 years ago. So 2022, and that is just a retail location.
Okay.
That doesn't have the event space. I've had a couple people like, oh, well, what if I want to do a party there? And I'm like, we could probably do a private party before or after hours, but we don't have an event space. So I tell people our location in the medical center area is pretty much double the size of our Potranco location because it has an event space. So it just, yeah.
Okay. So on the over here at the medical center location with your event space, what is I guess what's more popular? Is it like a bachelorette party or the bridal shower? What have you noticed that you book more?
It's kind of a toss up. Sometimes like I'm having one this weekend, and I think the girl already got married and she did a destination wedding. So she was like, well, now we want to do something like fun. I guess, I don't know if she did or didn't have a bachelorette party, but she's doing something after the fact. So I think she got married last month.
Okay.
So, so that's going to happen. I have one happening, on Saturday, and sometimes people will do like a brunch theme, like, oh, we want to have like a bridal brunch for her. I guess it's more bachelorette parties than actual, like, I say bridal, but because sometimes people are like, no, we're having our bridal shower at mom's house or whatever. Yeah, so this is more, I think, a little bit, I want to say, a little bit funner. It's a different experience, and we bring out things and people are like, oh my gosh. And then we have fun artwork, all done by local women artists. So like the artwork is kind of fun, and we have some fun murals. So yeah.
I remember the paintings that you have. The last time that I went, I don't remember. I think it was one of your anniversaries.
Okay.
And I saw like all the paintings that you had in the space, and I actually got to meet the person that painted them. She she came up to us and she's like, "Do you like the paintings?" I'm so glad I said yes, because she was like, "Oh, I made them," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
You were like, "No, this is trash."
Imagine if I would have said something like that.
I can't believe Amy has this stuff in her space here. That's just classy.
No, they were actually really fun.
Yeah.
They're really fun and so out there. Like it's different. I
Yeah.
think it's really, really cool. How many people can you host? Like, what's the capacity of guests?
So with table and chairs, about 50.
Okay.
So like we do, like you have mentioned, we do dirty bingos, and we also do like drag brunch bingos. I don't have actual performers. I usually just have one person spinning the ball, but with and those do sell out. Like those do really well. I think people are just looking for something different and fun to do, instead of just, okay, we're just going to go to a bar or, go to a club. Some people are like, no, we want to do something different. But yeah. But I would say it's It's a good mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever hosted? Because I know that mainly your clients are women.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever hosted something for a group of guys?
Yeah, and I tell people because I have people that come in and they're like, can men be in here? I'm like, yes, like we'll take money from anybody,
Of
you know?
course.
Yeah, no, but we are all about creating a comfortable space for everybody. Doesn't matter how you identify. So we have had some gay, bachelor,
Okay.
yeah, parties. So, and those are always so much fun.
I mean, the gays.
Yeah.
It's a whole different vibe.
But yeah, no, I've had people like, oh, my gay friends are getting married. We'd love to host something here. I'm like, absolutely, yeah.
You're like the queen of the gays, I
feel. Much love. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, again, I keep going back to the same, but I just feel like you've built something so cool and such a safe space for everyone.
Thank you.
And so I guess because you're in a little like a shopping center type of building, have you ever had any issues with whenever you're hosting events and stuff like that with any of your other people in the shopping center?
No, not at all.
Because they can play, I'm sure during your event space, you guys have music and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, if anything, we've had some people like get a little too tipsy. Get a little too tipsy. I'm like, please, no, they're not driving, right? No, we're all the party bus or whatever's picking us up. I'm like, okay, or maybe brides get a little too have too much fun. But other than that, like, no, we're we don't stay open late. We're not like other places that stay open until like 12 or 1.
Yeah.
We close a little bit earlier than that. So no, we haven't had no problems, no issues. I mean, me actually getting into the shopping center, when I opened up my first store, I was like, everybody was telling me no. And I thought for sure, okay, this other location, when I pick another spot, they're going to take me in because I've been established. I've been open, it was already 10 years. And I still have people tell me like, yeah, no, we don't want you in our space. And I'll be like, please check out my Babcock location, my location in the medical center area. Look at our reviews. And I think sometimes people are like
I feel like they automatically think of all the other stores that that we were talking about earlier on, that they just maybe feel like it's gonna be like that, But no, again, I mean, you walk into your store and it feels like a party there. Like the moment you walk in, like it's such a cool vibe. When it comes to planning this, like a party or an event, a private event in your event space, how long in advance do they need to book? Do they pay a deposit or is it the full amount? I guess just so that our listeners know in case they're, interested in hosting an event there with you.
So I usually tell people, depending on what date they want, obviously they're set on a certain date, try to book it at least a month, 2 months in advance, because we use that event room for our private classes too. So we don't want to, and we book a lot of stuff on the weekends. So we try to tell people, if you want a specific date, please book at least a month in advance. I've had people a couple of weeks in advance, and if they're kind of flexible, like, well, I want it on a Saturday, maybe I'll do it on a Friday. As far as a deposit, sometimes we can either do a PayPal invoice or, Cash App or Venmo. They can always put half down. And then if something happens, I mean, we're not going to be like, just as long as they cancel before the event, because I do have extra staff that I do have to get on the premise for the evening or whatever time they book the party. So just as long as, things happen, life happens, just as long as they cancel, at least 48 hours before, I will refund them the deposit. No worries. I have sometimes people that will book the party and be like, I just want to pay for it up front and just be done with it. Or my maid of honor is going to pay for it or whatnot. And it's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then for the actual store part of your business, do you sell gift cards?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they use the gift cards towards an event space?
Absolutely. Yeah. So they can do, and then also if the bride is like, I don't have time to go in there and do a bridal registry, they can do it the day of or the day before. But if not, we can do a gift card. Like if people are like, oh, I'm just going to buy the bride to be a gift card. And then at the end, she can just buy whatever she wants. I was going to say something else on that end that you just said. I'll remember in a second.
It'll come back. It'll come back. So, what would you say are the top 3 items that you sell the most at your store? And this is a Tipsy Guest. You can say whatever you want.
I know people always come in and they're like, what are your top selling items? I'm like, well, I guess it depends on what category. But, we sell like little, I should have brought some stuff.
You should have.
Dang it. Make this a little bit like sound and everything. So we do sell like a lot of vibrators, right? That's fun for the whole family. I always tell everybody. But like we sell stuff that you can use anywhere on the body. More for outside stimulation anywhere on the body. And then we do sell a lot of lubricants. And people are like, lubricants? I'm like, yeah, but we have warming, cooling, flavored, water-based silicone. But we also have stuff that is body safe. Because now people are, people are worried about what they're putting in and on their body. So we carry like body safe products. We sell a lot of like massage candles. They are a candle that is actually massage oil. Wow. So that's always fun. And then we sell like fun like panties and lingerie pieces and stuff. And we try to carry all sizes. So we carry small all the way up to 4X.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask too. Because I see a lot of. I'm always on TikTok. I'm always on Instagram, and whenever I come across, like a clothing store or just people selling stuff like that, I always go to the comments, because that's one of the questions always, like, what are your sizes? Make sure you include the skinny people. Make sure you include the bigger people. Yeah. So I like that you have something for everyone.
I tell everybody because the stuff may run small, and 2 is we want everybody to feel sexy and have a good time and feel empowered. So we try to carry a variety of sizes. Yeah,
absolutely love it. And have you ever had any drama at one of your events? I mean, because you were saying earlier, sometimes people drink too much. Talk to us. We want to hear we love drama here. Can you think of a story of something that happened? Somebody got in a fight or something?
So not a fight or anything, but I did have so our most popular class that we teach is a fellatio class. Fellatio, aka BJ class. That's our most popular class. And we have a whole PowerPoint presentation, and we talk about anatomy and positions and techniques and stuff like that. The first time we hosted that class, we had over 100 people show up.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. 100 people were looking for
how to do it the right way.
So that is probably our number one class. Okay, so fast forward to the situation. So we had it wasn't a private party. It was just we had a class book that night or a workshop. And an individual got there that I personally know, and she's like, oh, one of my friends is coming. I'm like, oh, okay, I invited her. She's crazy. She's wild. And the friend got there, and then everybody's sitting down, ready to go. And then I just noticed, I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this person? Then I realized she got to the store and she was already trashed. And she was kind of being loud and obnoxious. And then I turned around and she's like passed out. And I'm just like,
oh my God.
Oh my gosh. So normally we have alcohol. I have wine and non-alcoholic beverages. And I tell my employee, pull the alcohol. I don't need her drinking anymore when she wakes up. If she, has a second wind or whatever, like I don't need that. So I just told her friend, she's not driving, is she? Like, that's my main thing is being safe. And, obviously she got there. She was already toasted, but she was just being
ready.
Loud.
She wanted to go in and be ready.
She was being loud and then just being.
There's always that one person.
Yeah, and I'm just like people pay to be here.
I feel like there's always the one person that doesn't take it serious, and they're just like laughing at. Like you said, you had a PowerPoint presentation, so there's always that one that's always gonna be making those little comments and laughing. And
I think it was just that she was just drunk off of her. But when she got there, so I was like, oh my gosh. And that's so wild. Me and my niece, Alyssa, was there that day, and we're just trying to figure out how to get her, like, for her friend to take care of her. That was probably the only thing that we had. Maybe that was drama. For the most part, everybody has a good time. I always tell people it's a different retail environment because when you come in, people are coming in happy.
Yeah.
Happy, excited, oh, I'm going to get some stuff for my trip or, for our honeymoon or something like that. So it's a completely different vibe. Very rare is it. I mean, sometimes we do have like where a couple comes in and you can tell one person wanted to be there and the other one didn't. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like, and usually it's, the man is happy if it's, if it's a straight couple and the woman's like being forced to go. And I'm just like,
That's so funny.
So,
but it happens, but then once they're there, they feel comfortable, and then they're by the end of it, they're all like, excited and happy.
It's not the space. Yeah, it's not the space. It's just, I guess, whatever they have going on. But for the most part, 99% of the time, everybody's excited, and we're going to go away, or we're going to do this and that, or fun times. So, yeah.
Love it. Well, there you have it to our listeners. If you are looking for a space to go have your bachelorette party, your bridal shower extravaganza, whatever you want to do, or even like Amy said, if you want to host a private session of some sort of class with a group of friends, make sure you go to the Love Shack Boutique. We are going to be listing all of the information on the show notes and the blog for this episode. Website, locations, all the good stuff. Amy, do you have anything else to share with our listeners? I guess they can buy online, right?
Yes, so we have an online store. We ship out through all the U.S. We have the two locations. We do curbside pickup as well. I just encourage everybody, like you have mentioned, our social media is a lot of fun. Before I got over here, I think me and Alyssa did like 3 or 4 videos for like content for us to have. So we have educational information, but we also have like fun videos, and she's had water splashed on herself and stuff like that. So I tell people, please check out our social media and just kind of see what we're about.
You know which ones are my favorite posts that you guys do?
Let's hear.
The camera, the security camera footage. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, you have to go to the Instagram account for the Love Shack Boutique. They're always posting when people are like, trying to steal stuff. They always call them out because they have the footage. It is the funniest thing ever. Those are my favorites.
So funny that you say that, because we were just talking about that today. They're like, oh my gosh. I was like, no one's done anything lately, but like we have busted people stealing or trying to steal, and then my niece just loves we'll tell them. And so funny thing, I had somebody that stole something, and she was wearing a particular uniform of a sports bar here in town with mountains in their
Twin Peaks. She works at Twin Peaks.
So she came in wearing her uniform.
Oh my gosh.
And we had just opened up the Petrenko store, and she had like an outfit and something. And then my employee's like, oh my gosh, she stole hosiery. Well, the girl wasn't too smart, because she signed up for our VIP. So she not only left us her name, she left us her phone number and her email. So we contacted her. It was like, hey, we think you made a mistake. You took one of our outfits. We have you on camera. Pay for it. You have until, I think I said 2 days. You have 2 days to come in and pay for it. And if you don't, we're going to blast you all over social media. If you do not know how we blast people, go ahead and look on social media. She was like, I didn't take anything. I didn't. And I texted her the next day, just a reminder, And so we blasted her. Oh my gosh. I forgot how many shares and likes that video had. But my niece was like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. And then Twin Peaks called and said, she's wearing our brand. How can we make this right? What can we do? Can we have her name and phone number? We understand you obtained that information. And I was just like, unfortunately the girl got fired.
Well,
but
I mean,
she live and learn,
that's what you get. Who... I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole other topic. Stealing is not right, you guys.
Yes.
But anyways, we have run out of time. Amy, thank you so much for being here. I mean, I feel like we can have you again, and we can talk more and more and more. I want to have Alyssa here as well. Again, Alyssa is the store manager. Again, you will see her on the social media accounts. She is hilarious. But anyways, Amy, thank you so much. We'll have all of your information listed on the episode show notes.
Okay.
And hopefully we can get you some people out there, and make sure you invite us to your next event.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Make sure you tune in next week. As usual, we will have more wedding vendors for you to, plan your big day. We want to make it easy for you, but we want to make it fun as well. So tell your BFFs, tell everyone. Until next time, cheers. Thanks for listening to the Tipsy Guest Podcast. If you know someone who could benefit from these tips, spread the love and share it with them. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Next round's on us. Same time, same place. Cheers! This podcast is brought to you by MVP Photo Booth, the #1 photo booth rental company in San Antonio, Austin, and Central Texas.